from the beginning.
This year I decided to take a break and come out and see Zac's show and a number of other shows and support my friends. I am wearing Zac today.
I think he just wants to get a bit of the French snobism. I think it'd be really, really great. And just to show a lot of the French editors that, as an American, you can pull off, some great designs, some great dresses, and maybe start dressing the French.
I'm very excited for him to show here. For me, it's the fashion capital. It's sort of where it all started, the great couturier, so it has a wonderful legacy, and, I love that he's showing within that legacy.
But I think for a young American designer to show in Paris, it's a big risk, but it's a great risk that one takes.
I started the line with my friend Ralston Crowe. Everything had to be through my hand, so I would drape, and then we would make it, and then it would become a little stiff, and then we'd have to deconstruct it to get this edge in it. I mean, we know how to make a perfect seam or clothing anywhere, but sometimes it's nice to have that edge and toughness into it that has that cut through it and things that are stopped in motion. I think it makes it chic, and I think it's a modern way to approach glamour. For girls who have the joy of it, of dressing, and self-created people. So we're looking at Jacqueline Derib, the Marchesa Casati, She Devils. People, I was looking at Marissa Berenson, in the late 70s, even Jonna Jordan in the makeup, Genevieve Waite, with Andy Warhol produced a musical that opened for one night for her. These interesting women, and I think we're back there again with Lady Gaga and Daphne Guinness is in the air. Young people on the street are going to want to create who they are through how they dress. And there are people that really are connoisseurs of technique and style. That's what I get off on and love and live for. I wanted to show the seam. So the sheer quality in the clothing is really to emphasize legs and length. Lots of the clothing has snap crotches in it, so there is coverage. But the sheerness is really to highlight our seams and our construction. We balance bias through the pieces. Sometimes it looks sort of simple, but it's actually quite complicated construction and balancing. It's very traditional in that way. And these are techniques that we have to keep alive in the art of making clothing. And by showing them transparent, it's showing the exoskeleton of the clothing. It's like the feathers in the collection. That's where it started. We started draping with the feathers, and then it built into exposing all the construction and seams.
This was Zac Posen's debut in Paris, and I think he pulled out all the stops in terms of technique and draping, very passionate color. And of course, he loves Saint Laurent, and he showed in the salon where Saint Laurent used to show. And huge reliance on feathers, feathers everywhere, feather shrugs, feathers trapped inside chiffon, feather prints, feathers on hips, cleavage. It was a very passionate and dramatic collection. certainly put the effort in, and I think it depends now on the customers and the orders and the reception, he receives, particularly I think from the French press, what will happen in the future.
What definitely attracts me is the detail, the level of detail, the level of quality. It's very couture. The gowns, like this one, for example, has all this pleating and ruching. And, in an age where I feel like people keep getting more and more sporty, it's wonderful to have a designer that really goes all out on his gowns and, without looking like prom, because it can go in that direction, and I don't enjoy that.
I think he felt that the clothing he was dreaming of had a home here and would find an interesting reception. And we had launched Z-Spoke, which is our secondary line, and wanted to have sort of an independent home for that. So, we showed that in New York 2 weeks ago, and now collection in Paris. So it made a lot of sense.
It's a dream to sort of break this cultural barrier artistically. I've always related to French designers and fashion. I think it's been interesting how I've interacted into the American fashion arena. I think I've treated it more as sort of like a pop element and interacting in that way, and I think that now it's time to have that dialogue and be all smiles, and then I can just protect and own my craft and share that with the real connoisseurs of fashion and what makes us still inspired and excited. It's very important for me, my company, for the studio, and my customers to be inspired to dress.